To start on our project, I'm going to be showing you how to make the bottom tier first. I'm only going to show one of the triangles or part of the banner. I'm only going to show one piece of it because it's just repetitive all the way around. So it's going to be the same steps just over and over again. So I'll just show you one piece. And to start out, it actually has some material. And to cut the material, I'm going to be using the AccuQuilt, which is a really awesome machine for quilters. It can cut up to, depending on the thickness of the material, it can cut up to 12 pieces of material at once. So it eliminates the process of having to cut each shape over and over again for you quilters out there. This is what our shape is gonna look like when it comes out, but I'm gonna do the process with you to show. And I already have my material folded to show that you can get many cuts just from running it through one time. So I just folded it, and you don't even have to try and fold it in any specific way. I'm just gonna fold it about 4 times. And then this is our die, and I'm not sure if you can see it too well, but there are multiple cuts that you could get from just this one die. And I'm just gonna be using this one square. So I'm just gonna focus on getting my material right there. And then you're gonna put your mat on top. And then actually turn it around so it can be on my side. And this is magnetized, so when you close it, it just stays shut. It's really nice. And you're just gonna start turning the wheel, and it is a little bit harder to turn depending on the thickness of your material. Now we have it through, and we have all of our squares cut. I'm just gonna cut the one square that I need. We have our square cut out, and we want it to look like this. So I'm going to just cut a triangle out of it using the peeking shears. And I'm just gonna start from the middle of the square and cut at an angle over to the very corner down here at the bottom. And then do the same thing on the opposite side and cut to the corner. And now we have a triangle. And the triangle that we used as the backing was cut using the George cartridge, and it's a 5.5 in height triangle. And as you can see, it ends up fitting great so that you have a shadow of the red coming through. And then on top of that, we have the little flower that is going around, and we use that by cutting out some shapes from the Nestabilities using Spellbinder's Wizard machine. And I'm going to just cut those out. I can cut them out at the same time. And what's nice about the Spellbinders is they are metal, and it has a magnet mat that it will stick to. So you can have your paper on the mat, and then the Nestability is going to hold it in place. And you just want to make sure that the blade itself is facing down, and it just kind of holds in place because of the magnet. And then you're going to stick your mat on top so it's in between. Oops. You want to kind of hold it close to you because it does want to pop out on you there towards the end, because there is 400 pounds of pressure coming through this machine. Now we have our perfect shapes. And it even embosses them a little bit on the edge, so it looks really nice. We could put that to the side. And on this, to give it like a 3D effect, we've done this before on the flowers that were in the jars that we had a while back. And same thing, just cut as if you're gonna make little hearts. Just cut towards the middle. And you don't wanna like have them meet, otherwise you'll end up cutting it out completely, but just cut all the way around. And then you just wanna kind of bend right in the crease of the heart to have it pop a little bit. So right now, we have our red triangle that was cut from George, this which was our material that was cut from the AccuQuilt, and then our little flower that was cut from the Spellbinder's Wizard. And now we're just going to get the last piece together, which is in the middle. And it was also cut using the Spellbinders, just the little circle and some white paper. I already have one ready here for us. It just runs through the machine the exact same way. And just inked the edges with some Fired Brick Distress ink. Just run it right across the edge just to make that pop a little bit. And to get the fourth cut out, I'm going to be using the Cuttlebug Alphabets Harmony font. And I already have that out for us. I'm gonna have to run this through a couple times to get the fourth. But I just wanted to show that even though it looks a little bit more complicated than just the single letters, this is very easy as well. So I have my red paper here, and I'm going to be using the 4, so I'm just going to place the paper around that area. And then place it between my mats. You just want to make sure that also your paper is going to be the right direction than your letter, because just imagine that it's cut out. If you had the paper facing the wrong way, then when you go to turn it over the right way, then the 4 is going to be backwards. So place it in between your mats, your 2 B's, and then have your A spacer. Bring my Cuttlebug over here. And now we have our 4. Now that we have our number and letters cut out, we're just going to piece it all together. And I'm going to be using one of our Zig pens, since it's so tiny, to glue the 4th on. This pen is great for little stuff like this, because it's about the same exact size, so you can get it good and covered. I'm going to place 4. And kind of overlap them a little bit. Now we're just going to assemble all of our pieces. I'm just going to use a little bit of Flour Soft Glue on the fabric, just in the corners. Attach it to our main base, and then after that, just put it all together. And for this, I used my favorite tool ever, the Tim Holtz Tiny Attacher. It fits right perfectly to get it in the middle. One staple, it's a very tiny little staple, and it's very strong, it will hold it all together. And then to cover up the staple, I'm going to use more Flour Soft Glue. Cover it right in the middle. And now it's complete.